What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I am at the project site today. I want to bring you along the journey, show you a couple things. Today it is my goal to chop and drop all of our nitrogen fixing shrubs. So all these goumyberry are trying to get to be about 6 feet tall and 6 feet wide. Let's start there. I'll give you a before and after shot. Here's before, and boom, here is an after shot. Took me about 20 minutes to chop and drop all the autumn olive, the goumyberry, and they are all about 6 feet tall, maybe 6 feet wide if they're bigger. But what we've done here is now liberate the pawpaw trees that are living underneath these goumyberry. We've also established a little bit more sunlight for the figs living right behind them. So here's a great snapshot of all that. We have this centralized pawpaw tree, which is the main crop, the future main crop. Underneath it, it has all its companion plants like comfrey. It has lemon balm. And then it's got this nitrogen fixing shrub right next to it, this autumn olive, that also produces for us an edible berry every year. So I got a couple more of these chop and drop while I'm here. I'm gonna step back for a second and do that, and then I want to show you a couple other things growing on at the farm while I'm here, garden fans. Okay, 2 more goumyberry shrubs that I'm going to chop down, and I'm going to give you the go before and after like I did before. Here is a goumi shrub, and it is right next to a Chinese chestnut. Pretty big. I'm going to liberate that chestnut. I'm also going to liberate a pecan tree over here. You can see this giant goumyberry shrub. Both of these are going to get cut down to about 6 feet, and then I'll show you what that looks like afterwards. Okay, here's an after look of those same 2 shrubs. It took me about 15 minutes to chop and drop everything down. I'm going to get a little closer on here, and I'm going to take this time to kind of talk about what I'm doing here and talk about these plants in general. So I'm pruning down my autumn olive, Elaeagnus, multiflora, and umbellata. I have both varieties growing here. I'm chopping and dropping around the main crop tree, which is a Chinese chestnut. Chinese chestnut does. We have any chestnuts this year? We do. We have a chestnut this year. And then this thing will continue to produce the larger it gets. But we've chopped and dropped. We're using the droppings as mulch, as a mulch layer. As I chop and drop, proportionately the root system might die back a little bit and provide some nitrogen to the neighboring tree here. Now I want to address everybody that says that these plants are invasive. I've never ever liked the word invasive to start with. A plant will only invade if it's allowed to, first and foremost. If you're gonna clear cut an entire area, then of course this is going to be the tree that wants to grow. It's fast growing. It puts nitrogen in the soil, and it grows rapidly and spreads rapidly, once again, if you allow it. Now, these plants are grown in the context of a food forest. They're managed plants, and I have yet to see them overtake this whole area yet. Here's a pecan tree with the other prune tree. Once again, for me, these are sacrificial plants that happen to provide an edible yield. They put nitrogen in the soil, they put berries in my stomach, and they provide some sort of protection for young nut trees as they're growing up. And in the case of the lower swales down the bottom of the hill, they're providing shade to my pawpaws. So a tree will only invade as much as you let it, okay? If you clear cut an area and expect nothing to grow, you're crazy. If you clear cut an area and don't replant it, then the hardiest of hardy plants will grow to cover the earth. That is Mother Nature's way of protecting soil and covering the earth. Now, with the rest of this video, I want to show you all a couple things, just kind of what's fruiting right now and what we expect to see in the next month or so. Persimmons are one. So this is our Japanese persimmon, and it is loaded down with fruit this year, which is surprising to me because this tree is still very young and kind of immature. It's really only 2.5 years old. So we're gonna have some persimmons off of that. Nuts. The hazelberts, which are hazelnuts crossed with filberts, I feel like I'm getting the best of both plants in this one plant. So we've already had a spring crop, but they're wanting to catkin up again and maybe provide us with a fall crop as well. So here's one of these fall nuts coming on. Let me show you that. So we've already harvested nuts off of here in the spring, and here we are in the summer. They're already catkinning up and producing more nuts for us. So I feel like these are the best of both worlds when it comes to filberts and hazelnuts. We're getting kind of like a double cropping off of each of these. We're getting a spring bumper crop, and it looks like we're going to get a fall crop as well. Now we have pomegranates sprinkled all throughout the food forest. Most of them are starting to put on fruit. Some are still flowering and putting on fruit, but we do have quite a few pomegranates out here that are putting on fruit. This is a little unexpected for me. I was expecting it to be another year or so before we got fruit out of these, or waiting for them to get a little bigger, but within the next month or so we're going to have pomegranate. Some more fruits that we have growing are pineapple guava. Here are our pineapple guava shrubs, and if I dig deep in here for you, you'll see, oh, here's one. Here's a pomegranate. There we go. Come on, let's get there, get there, get there, get there. There's one. So we got a couple more in here. Here's one growing. There's quite a few pineapple guava growing in here. As provided we keep getting rain or keep these guys moist throughout the growing season, we'll have pineapple guava in the next month or two. Jujube. All of our jujube trees are fruiting, and we have two varieties. We have Lee and Lang jujube. This right here is a Lang jujube. It kind of looks a little more pear-shaped. We also have Lee jujube that are fruiting. Here's a Lee jujube over here. And this Lee jujube looks a little bit more like a crab apple, a little more round. And believe it or not, it has the crunch like a crab apple if I were to pick this and eat it right now. If I leave it on the tree for another 2 months, it'll kind of shrivel up a bit and look like a date. And that's where it gets its name, Chinese date, from. So that's what we're expecting to be harvesting here within the next couple months. We're going to be harvesting pomegranate, jujube, persimmon, some nuts, and some pineapple guava. Now the whole food forest is looking great right now, garden fans. We've been doing a lot of chopping and dropping. We've got a bunch more wood chips that have come in. So as we come into fall, that's all we're going to be doing. A lot of chopping and dropping and getting ready for the fall. Appreciate you all coming out here and watching. Just a quick question for all of my local fans. If you could leave a comment below and let me know how interested you would be in coming out and seeing this food forest. I've already started doing some private tours. I've done one today, and I will do more if I can see the interest there for it. So if you're interested in coming and seeing the project farm, please leave a comment below. Let me know where you are. Let me know your location. And we'll see what we can do about scheduling out some more tours before we come into fall and winter. Appreciate y'all watching as always. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's what really helps us out. God bless.